I used to drive all over town for low prices, but now I let Walmart's incredible new Savings Catcher do the work for me. I just enter my Walmart receipt online and Savings Catcher does the rest. It compares the prices I paid for items at Walmart with advertised prices from other top stores in my area. And if Savings Catcher finds a lower advertised price, Walmart gives me the difference on an e-gift card. Now that's my kind of work.
Introducing Savings Catcher from Walmart. Go to walmart.com/savingscatcher for details. Eligible items only. Restrictions apply.
Rockin' Country Radio, today's hottest country and more. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Rockin' Country Radio. I'm your host, DJ Delta Dawn, welcoming you to another edition of our show. It is Wednesday, Hump Day, as many of you refer to it, and that means that it is all downhill from here for the rest of this week. We are coasting to Friday and towards the weekend. And speaking of that, you know, we don't have too many more weekends of summer left. Can you believe it? I mean, it is amazing to me how fast this summer has gone by. My son went back to college this week, and my youngest daughter starts on Monday. It is just amazing. I think this is perhaps one of the fastest summers on record, but I hope that you've made the most of it. I hope you've gotten out to see lots of great country artists and lots of shows and done some wonderful things because I tell you, time just clicks on all the time. And but nonetheless, despite all that, we are very excited that it's Wednesday. We're glad to be with you this evening. We want to welcome everyone into our show. And if you're brand new to our show and this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining us. We're glad that you joined us tonight because you picked a great night to tune in. We are very excited about our guest tonight. She's a country newcomer, and she is really making some noise and getting some attention of a lot of people in the industry. And I want to give you a little background on her before we bring her on the line. As you know, country music is known as the soundtrack of the South. It's where it kind of derived from. But our guest, really, she's not Southern and she's not based in the South. But the compass for country music for her points to Southern California. She's on the West Coast. And the sun-swept shores of Orange County. And she has a new single out, brand new debut single called We Were Here. And it is a great song. I have played it many times already. Love it, love it, love it. And obviously there are plenty of people out there that love it as well. She has a huge fan base, and people are really, everywhere she goes, people are receiving her with high praise. And this song is no exception. And she's doing some wonderful things. She has recorded in Nashville with eminent producer Kent Wells, who is noted for his recent work with Dolly Parton. And she's just done a tremendous job on it. She has a new album coming out very soon. So lots of great things happening with her. And so we are very excited tonight to welcome to our show Miss Amanda Lamb. Hello, Amanda.
Hi, how is it going?
It's going wonderful. How are you?
I am doing great. That was such a great introduction. I've been blushing over here.
Well, you know, it was well-deserved, well-earned. You are a phenomenal artist, and I love your song, We Were Here. And I just want to welcome you to our show, and thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to be with us. It is quite an honor. And I have to ask you, how are things out on the West Coast this evening? What's the weather like out there?
It's beautiful as always. Sunny. There's a few thunderclouds I can see from my window, but I have a feeling they will not make it to us.
Well, lucky you. I mean, I think that's one thing that the South envies about the West Coast. Your weather out there is always gorgeous and picture perfect, especially in the summer. And you know where you're based, it's always that way. And we here in North Carolina, we get tons of sun, but we have all this heat and humidity to go along with it. Something that you guys don't have to contend with the humidity so much. So believe me, you're not missing anything. Trust me.
It's because, the West Coast, we always complain, there's not enough seasons, and we wish we had more weather, that it was more exciting. It's a little boring.
Well, I tell you, sometimes we wish we didn't have all the variety of weather that we have, and that's one thing about living in a state where you have the mountains on one side and you have the coast on the other, and so you're always getting something. It's a variety all the time. But I'm glad that your weather is picture perfect out there. It really tends to suit you perfectly because you are, as I said, you're a phenomenal artist, and you've had quite a journey in your life, apart from the music side, which we will get into very briefly. But first of all, I want to congratulate you on the success of We Were Here, because from what I understand, you are getting all kinds of great feedback on that so far. Are you not?
Yeah, it's been really quite amazing how much positive feedback I've been getting, and every time I get some feedback, I just feel very blessed.
Well, and you should. It is a great song. I mean, as I was saying in the intro, I've listened to the song so many times, and it's part of my personal music collection. I have it on, on my phone, and it's everywhere I go. I'm playing it. Not to mention, we've added it to rotation on our radio station, and we'll be featuring it in our music show coming up very soon. And it's one of those songs that when you hear it the first time, you like it, and then it just kind of gets stuck in your head, and it's one of those you want to play over and over again, and just kind of put on, a constant loop. And talk a little bit about how that song was born. I mean, what was your inspiration behind this song?
Right. Well, I work with a great songwriter. His name is Bill DeLuigi. I love him to death. And I was actually supposed to go out in Nashville around March to continue writing and getting more material for an album or an EP. We weren't quite sure quite yet. But in February, I had my appendix out. And a few days later, after the surgery, I was back in the ICU for complications from the surgery.
Oh, wow.
So traveling to Nashville was not going to happen. So he actually came out here, and he was so excited. He was going to bring his, 1970 flip-flops that hadn't seen the sun in years. And he went out he stayed in Laguna, so he went out for a walk one day, and he noticed how these aloe vera plants, had names etched into them. As in people saying, so-and-so was here with this person, and, John loves Sarah, and he was just dumbfounded by that. And and that kind of started a discussion of how people will find a way to leave their mark where they were, and how it's like a human desire to leave a mark when you were somewhere. So that's kind of where the song was born.
That is so cool. I mean, that is a really cool story. And by the way, I am so glad you're okay and you made it through all of that, because I've never had a problem with my appendix, but I hear that is not a fun ordeal to go through. And getting through it can be quite extensive.
Yeah, I mean, the complications were because of my diabetes, not because of, my appendix or whatever. But it was pretty rough there for a few months.
Well, I'm thankful that you're back on the road to recovery and you're doing well. And they say everything happens for a reason. And, had everything been okay and you hadn't gone through that, your songwriter or collaborator might not have ventured out to California and may not have gotten that inspiration from the aloe vera plant. I mean, who knew? And I always love to ask that question about how a song is born and where the inspiration comes from, because the stories are so varied and always interesting. There's always a great story behind the song, and so that is quite a story. I think that's probably one of my favorites I've heard so far. Not the part about you being sick, of course, but how your collaborator came out there and it just kind of dawned on him. Wow, this could be a song kind of thing. Well, and you spoke briefly just now about your diabetes, and I know that some time ago you had performed a song. You produced a song, Something in the Blood, which is a personal homage to, all the inspirational people that you've met who are actually living with type 1 diabetes, and which is also what you have. And how has that experience been for you? Because I know that, I've got friends who have diabetes. My father is diabetic, so I kind of have a, an inside look at how it all works and how it's controlled. Now, my dad, fortunately, is controlling his with just reducing his sugar intake, eliminating his sugar intake, and using some alternatives and getting his weight down. And so he's not had to take any kind of medications to control it, which is awesome. But in your case, what has your experience been?
Yeah. Well, that sounds like type 2 diabetes. Mine is type 1. It's also called juvenile diabetes. I was diagnosed with type 1 at the age of 15 months old. So it's really, honestly, like, it's just part of my normal life, like if I had a name tag that said, hello, my name is, it would say, hello, my name is Amanda Lamb and I have diabetes. Like, that's just part of who I am. And, I mean, I've been fortunate enough to grow up with parents that, they take care of me. They help me when I was younger and trying to get a little more independence. But they've never seen my diabetes as, like, a reason to not do something.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
So for 10 years there, I was a competitive horseback rider. And, they were full throttle into it. And, I mean, we would always monitor my sugar and, make sure that everything was going well just so I wouldn't, fall off the horse randomly. But when it comes to my music, I mean, we still are very diligent about it. And it definitely affects, preparing for a live performance or something. I mean, we will start preparing 24 hours in advance of a gig. Checking the blood sugar, making sure that everything's normal, because the fluctuations of the blood sugars can actually affect your vocal cords.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Strange. Yeah. So we do that, and I mean, for some weird reason, like, I feel like I was given this disease for a reason, and that it's made me a better, stronger person. And because of having this disease, I feel like, it's kind of like my responsibility in a way to share my message and tell people, don't let your diabetes, or honestly any chronic illness, get in the way of your dreams. That's always been my message.
And that is an incredible message. And, in fact, I read a quote from you regarding your song, Something in the Blood, where you said the song is both literal and figurative because there is strength, bravery, and courage in my blood. And, gosh, what a perspective that you have about your type 1 diabetes. And I love the fact that you have said it's not going to control me. I'm going to control it. And obviously you have been very successful at it, but as you said, having a great support base in your parents and them not having that mindset of, now my daughter is limited in what she can do, of not ever going down that path, and just forging ahead and giving you the opportunities and reinforcing within you that this doesn't have to be something that defines you, and you can be and do whatever you want to do. And I love the fact that, in a way, you can be, like a real advocate for those who may not have that belief within themselves, and they're not kind of in that place that they need to be with it. Because it really is true. It's not just diabetes. It could be any chronic illness. And
I'm not just a diabetic. I suffer from migraines. I have hypothyroidism. I have chronic ankle pain. Like, there's, the song is so much more than just diabetics.
Oh, yeah. And really, in truth, I'll be honest, I've not actually heard the song. I'd love to hear it. But for me, that song, even in the song itself, the title, the title itself just sounds so empowering, because it doesn't necessarily have to apply just to a chronic illness. It can apply to anything in life that presents itself as a challenge. That can be overcome or be managed in a way that doesn't inhibit or limit you to being able to be the best you can be and do anything that you want to do. And I think the mindset is half the battle won in something like this. And if you get your mindset right, everything else just kind of falls into place the way it should. And you have such a great spirit about you. I mean, a great positive attitude. There are some people who just would be so defeated by having a myriad of things going on, and you just don't seem to be fazed at all about it. Not to say that there aren't days that you're struggling, but it's very inspiring, to tell you the truth, indeed.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I mean, there were definitely some years there where I just wanted to just forget I had diabetes, not take care of it. I was like, you know what, I'm done. If I forget about it, it'll go away. But that, of course, is not the case. And my diabetes, came back and reminded me, hey, guess what? I'm still here. So, ended up in the hospital a few times. And I was like, you know what? It's time to change my attitude on this.
Yeah, well, and I think it served you well. Believe it. I mean, you're a living, walking testament to the fact that you are in control of it. It's not in control of you, and I think that is just so awesome, Amanda. Now, I have to ask you this because I understand that you shot your music video for We Were Here in the Desert, and being that, you have, type 1 diabetes, what kind of preparation did you have to take to get ready? Because it was in the desert. I mean, those conditions can be very, very strenuous,
Yeah, it was 108 degrees out that day.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. It was crazy. We monitored my blood sugar. We were, because of the music video, I wear an insulin pump, which basically is like an external pancreas, but I control it. I'm in control of it. So that can be a good thing and a bad thing.
Oh, yeah.
So I can take that off for about 2 hours. So, we would shoot for 2 hours and I would test, and then, hook up, get some insulin if I needed it, take a little break, then go off it again. And you know what, during the filming of the music video, I actually thought that I was having a low blood sugar, meaning, there wasn't enough sugar in my blood, so my body was not going to function right, and I was feeling shaky and dizzy, and like my head was spinning, and I was like, I stopped mid-take, and I was like, I just kind of like put my hands on my knees, and I was like, I need to test. Something's not right. But I tested. I was actually normal. It was just the heat and the fatigue. Mm-hmm. So, I've been lucky enough that nothing terrible has happened on a music video shoot, but let's just hope I keep it that way.
Well, and to your credit, I mean, you and I were talking at the beginning of the interview about how the weather here in North Carolina is so bad this time of year. Now, fortunately, we've had one of the best summers that I can remember in recent memory. The humidity has been the lowest it's ever been. It's almost weird. I'm almost thinking, am I in North Carolina? Because this is so uncharacteristic. But to be in that kind of temperature and heat in the middle of the desert for anyone who doesn't have any kind of chronic health condition could be very, very taxing and trying on a person.
The entire crew was just dying. I mean, in the moment we were like, what are we doing? But after the fact, it was like, that was fun. Like, in a strange twist way, it was fun.
I got to go to Arizona several years back, and it's absolutely gorgeous out there, by the way. But, we were forewarned how dry the heat is and how you're, and it's just so different from North Carolina weather where it can be 85 and feel like it's 104, with the humidity factored in. But out there, it's just strictly, when it says it's 104, it's 104 heat-wise. And I tell you, it was quite a shock to the system because even though there was no humidity factored in, it just, walking from building to building, you almost felt like you were going to fry up in an instant, So, I mean, because you almost felt like you weren't going to sweat, at least the humidity, that just kind of brings it out of you. But there was no ability to do that. So everybody was encouraged to drink lots of water and stay indoors. So I just really applaud you for, doing that in the midst of those conditions, because that is tough on anyone. And then you got through it successfully. You filmed the video, and it turned out great. Oh,
I absolutely loved the music video. It turned out better than I thought it was going to be, which I had high expectations for it. So
yeah. Well, it seems like everything you put your mind to is going to be a success no matter what. And you always find a way to make it work. And I love the fact that you in no way are limited by the fact that you have, certain health things that you deal with on a daily basis, and you just keep forging ahead, and I think that's awesome.
Thank you.
Now, I understand that you also have an EP coming out in the fall. Talk a little bit about that, if you can.
Yeah, I'm super excited for it to come out. I've got, it's been hard trying to pick, 4 or 5 songs to put on the EP, but it should be coming out, late September. I can't give away too much, but I'm I'm like ready for it to be late September. I want this to come out now.
Yeah. I know. And you know what, really, we're at the end of August almost. It's going to be here
I
before you
know.
know it. But I know that anticipation, knowing that it's ready, and it's a matter of just time now and waiting, it's just got to be killing you. It's like a kid at Christmas, you just want to go ahead and get to it,
Yeah, we finished recording these songs. Oh gosh, when was that? Like April?
Mm-hmm.
And
oh, wow.
I've just been sitting on them like, come on.
This has been the longest few months for you, I'm sure, ever. And
it really has.
Well, I'm excited for you because I know that is going to be a big deal when it comes out. Are you going to have any kind of release party for it? As right before it's set to release.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I haven't thought. You know what? It's so funny. Like I want it to happen, but I haven't thought that far quite yet.
Well, you know what? It's going to be here before you know it, and it
will
be so.
Gotta start planning now.
I know, that's right. You just ought to have a big to-do out there. And I assume that it'll be released to iTunes. It'll be on iTunes when it's available?
Yes.
Awesome. Now, and the other question I have for you, We Were Here, I'm assuming, it's going to be on the EP. Will it be?
Yeah. Yes,
awesome.
It will. It definitely will.
Well, I tell you, I love the song We Were Here, and if that song is any indication of what the rest of the EP is going to be like, oh my gosh, it's going to be a great project, and I'm right there with you. I can't wait. Is it September yet? And it kind of reminds me. This excitement kind of reminds me of something I saw from Eric Church the other day. He's going on tour in September, and he made comment that he said he couldn't wait for it to be September. He wanted it to hurry up and get here. And it seems like September is kind of a magical month for a lot of country artists. There's a lot happening. So there's so much energy and buzz in the country industry right now. It's crazy. And and you've got this coming out in the midst of all that. I think the timing of it is going to be perfect for you with regard to, getting it pushed out to radio play and all this and that. So I will tell you that on our end of the spectrum, we're working very hard to kind of get your name in the direction of Sirius XM's The Highway, because they have been, oh my gosh, this summer they have really been working hard to bring to light some of these unsigned artists that are really gaining some momentum, but they are really getting it now because Sirius is they've gone out on a limb and they're just taking these chances with these artists that mainstream radio won't touch. So we are also trying to say, hey, have you heard of Amanda Lamb? You need to check her out, So, yeah, I mean, we really do love your music and what you're doing as an artist. And I have no doubt that you're definitely going places. And this EP, I think, is just kind of going to set the stage for you as you move forward, for sure.
Oh, my gosh. I cannot thank you enough. I'm just, grinning like a fool over here.
Well, we do what we can. That's what our show is all about, is promoting great music and great artists like you. And man, you are just one of those that you are Sirius XM, The Highway. I mean, gosh, when I first heard your music, I was like, okay, why am I getting this? I'm internet. You should be on mainstream radio already. I mean, that's how good you are. So, in our opinion, and you really are. But on that note, aside from the album coming out next month, do you have anything else going on? Are you going to be touring anywhere coming up in the near future?
Well, a few weeks ago, I just started getting a band together to start preparing for live performances. We don't have anything on the books quite yet. We have some things in the works, but I would love to go on tour. That has been my dream for 3 years now. I have that performance bug, and it is itching to get out there. So the band is getting ready. The band is sounding awesome. I'm sure if we got a call tomorrow saying, hey, can you do this next week, we'd be like, yeah, let's do it. It's a great bunch of guys. So we're working on that and hopefully performing soon.
Well, it's almost a given because you're releasing this EP. People are going to hear it, and they're going to start asking the question, are you coming to my town? Are you coming to see us? Are you going to come play? And I'm sitting here, on the East Coast going, gosh, I hope she makes it to North Carolina or somewhere in the vicinity, because I would love to see you live. I think it would just be a real treat, not for me, but for everyone there that could hear your music. hope that will be in the future once you do get out on the road and you start playing some dates and branching out of California.
Yes, I would absolutely love to branch out of California. That is a dream of mine.
I definitely believe it will happen. So, well, Amanda, I'm excited for you. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen. I think 2015 is going to be a big year for you, and your music speaks for itself. So, there's not a lot of hype that needs to happen, because when people hear it, it just automatically happens, And so you are a great artist, and I'm thrilled to see what's going to happen for you next. But I'm like you. Hurry up, September. I can't wait. So when your album does drop, if you can, have your publicist get in touch with us ahead of time, get it in our hands. We will start promoting it here and getting the word out about it, so people will at least get to hear it and will go buy it. And so anything we can do for you, please don't hesitate to let us know.
Oh, thank you so much. I cannot tell you how grateful I am for that.
You're so welcome, and you definitely deserve it. So, we are a fan, and we can't wait to see to hear the new music, but also to see what's going to happen for you forthcoming. So, we wish you all the best for much continued success.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well, thank you, and take care of yourself. And we definitely would love to have you back anytime. So, please keep in touch, and we'll see you out on the road hopefully very soon.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It was so much fun talking to you.
Same here. Thank you, Amanda. Take care now.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye. She's just an absolute delight, Amanda Lamb. And I want to give you a little information where you can find her, because she is indeed an artist to watch, and someone that you definitely want to get to know. You can find her at amandalambmusic.com, and on Twitter and Facebook also, she is at Amanda Lamb Music. And before we close today, we are going to play her latest single, We Were Here, which will be on her forthcoming EP, which will be out next month. And rest assured, once we get that in our hands, we will be playing and promoting it here, and we'll be tweeting out and giving you guys all the information about it. So you'll want to, continue to stay tuned to that. And also, follow her, like her Facebook page, because that way you can stay up on everything that's going on with her, too, as it happens. That is going to wrap our show, and we have had a great time today talking with her, and so very thankful that all of you could join us as well. And again, if you're a first-time listener, welcome aboard. We're glad to have you here, and hope that this will not be the last time that you will be joining us. And normally we're on Monday through Thursday at 7:30 p.m., but we're taking tomorrow night off, so we will be back here on Friday night. Last week, we did our Highway Underground show on Saturday night. We had some technical difficulties. We had to cut our show short. So, in fairness to the artists that we did not get to play, we are going to replay our show live on air over at Spreaker.com. We'll be tweeting out the link for that. Be on the lookout for it. But it'll be Friday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And we'll also have our normal show on Saturday night. So, you're getting a double bonus from us this weekend, and we're very excited to bring it to you. So, please join us if you can. But in the meantime, as we close, we're going to play Amanda Lamb, We Were Here. Thank you so much for joining us. Many thanks to Amanda for being our special guest. And we will see you back here on Friday night. Take care, everyone, and we will see you soon. God bless, and good night.
Drive down the coastal highway, find ourselves an abandoned little hideaway, carve our names in the leaves of an aloe plant.
out Rockin' Country Radio on the web. Find us at rockincountryradio.com, on Twitter at Rockin_CTRY, and on Facebook at Rockin' Country Radio.